Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Drawing Animal Podcast with Wesley Bear. I am your host, Wesley Bear, and I'm back after a couple weeks. I was working on my latest book, which I will mention at the end of this podcast, but sorry for the delay. But we are back, and today we'll be talking about the Nautilus. I wanted to do something away from our mammals and birds that we usually do and talk about a mollusk. So, mollusk includes things like snails, which we did do a snail earlier on, but it also includes squids and octopuses. And a close relative of these animals is called the nautilus. But unlike most mollusks, in the ocean, they have an external shell. So when you look at squids and octopuses, they have what is called a mantle, and it's basically an internal shell. And that's what keeps all those insides together, and why, despite their squishy appearance, octopuses and squids are very well put together and not easily to just bite into. But nautilus are creatures that actually have an external chambered shell that actually grows in layers. They can grow from about 8 all the way up to 30 as they go throughout their life. Um, so it's basically an external shell with a little bit of a cap on the top, two big eyes for seeing that resemble like squid eyes, 90 tentacles that come out that have grooves and a very sticky secretion that allows them to hold on to prey that then pull prey into a beaked mouth. Um they basically almost hover in the water due to the use of an intake of gases. They basically bob along the surface. They can move in different directions, but we'll get into that in a minute. But they bob along the ocean anywhere from about 200 feet below the surface, all the way to about 2,000 feet below the surface. That and where they will be at the daytime and then night when they come to feed, or if they need to uh, come together to mate and lay eggs, they will also come near the surface. Most nautilus are found in what is called the Indo-Pacific region, so the area in between where the Indian Ocean meets the Pacific Ocean. So Australia and all those islands, from basically Taiwan all the way to about Sri Lanka, somewhere in about there, and of course along the coastlines and shores of Australia. Um, the other important thing to mention about Nautilus is that they have a pretty interesting and unexpected life in comparison to a lot of octopus and squid. They actually breed through internal fertilization, so they will mate. The eggs are fertilized inside the mom. She will eventually lay the eggs, usually around a coral reef or rocky surface where they can cling on to. And it will actually take about a year before those eggs will hatch. And when the eggs are developing, they actually kind of look like bulby garlic cloves, is kind of what they look like. But then they form into very, very tiny mini nautilus. They're actually pretty much like a regular nautilus in appearance, just not fully grown. A fully grown nautilus will be about each 8 inches around in diameter, and it will actually take about anywhere from 10 to 12 years to reach maturity, which is actually fairly long for a lot of octopus and squid. In fact, most octopus and squid don't actually live that long. Nautilus have been known to live all the way up to about 20 years. So definitely unusual. The other and most important thing to mention about Nautilus is as they are searching for prey, which mostly includes invertebrates like crabs or shrimp, um, they have to figure out a way to move around even as they are neutrally buoyant in the water. It doesn't help that you're just being to and froed by the ocean tide. So they actually have a way of pulling in water through the top of their mantle where the shell is, and then extinguished out through what is called a siphon near the bottom of the shell, right kind of where the shell meets the tentacles underneath. And that siphon can actually be changed in different directions. So it allows them to move up, down, backward, forward, and even sideways. So actually, despite their kind of clumsy looking movement, if you've ever seen a nautilus, especially in an aquarium, they kind of don't seem all that uh, graceful, or they're not very much knowing where they're going, at least in appearance. Nautilus are actually pretty capable of moving uh, through the water at the rate they want to. So, despite their weird appearance, and especially eyes that, if you see a picture of a nautilus, are actually not very expressive. It seems like they're staring into nothing. But just like octopus and squids, they're still fairly intelligent. They're not as intelligent as squids and octopuses. They just don't have the resources or the needs to um, do all the things that octopus and squid do, but they still have these amazing abilities, and so it's important not to overlook them, especially considering actually that nautilus are pretty vulnerable animals. Their shells are often collected and prized very highly. Even if you find a shell that no longer has a nautilus in it, they've kind of correlated nautilus collecting shells to actually poaching and over collecting of real nautiluses. So it's actually highly discouraged that you collect nautilus shells for yourself, and so actually they're pretty vulnerable, and there's no actually major protection for nautilus. So if you've ever touristed in areas where nautilus exist in Southeast Asia or in uh, Northern Australia or just wherever you are in the Indo-Pacific region, maybe even in China, I'm pretty sure there's probably a lot of buying and selling of nautilus shells in that area. Um, just be aware and don't buy that kind of stuff. So yeah, there we are for the chambered nautilus, and so be ready to protect and look at the beauty of this animal, despite its kind of awkward appearance and kind of just overall persona. Um, Animals are always a bit more intelligent than we give them credit for. So I did want to announce, if you haven't heard, that my recent book just came out. It's called Cunning Cats and Daring Dogs. It's the third book in my Crazy Creatures series. So if you would like more information, you can search my name, Wesley Bear, at Amazon and find all three books. Or I will also put a link to at least the most recent book in the description, and that should also provide you access and links to the other books as well. But yeah, that's my most recent book. It's about wild cats and dogs. So it has anywhere from pals, cats, and servals to dholes and Ethiopian wolves, and some of those animals you may not have heard of. So please check it out. If you want more information, you can also uh, contact me through my um, email or number. You might be, or the best way actually right now, because I always get nervous about putting emails or um, numbers up by which you can contact me. You can contact Born Again Bookstore in Colorado Springs. It's Born Again Used Books, and they are currently my main kind of partner right now. I'm looking to expand, but they're kind of my main partner, and they will be carrying the book. And hopefully, I will be setting up book signings and all sorts of other stuff with them in the future. I will be having a book signing with them tomorrow uh, in Colorado Springs at 12 to 2 on what is this date? 4/12, 2025. So hope to see you there. If you listen to this in time and you want to come by, you're more than welcome to. I will have still a limited number of copies, so they may sell out quickly. They may not. We'll see. But you can at least meet me and get my contact information there, and if you want to grab some books of your own if I've run out. So please enjoy nature, enjoy drawing, enjoy animals, and remember the God who created it all and allows us to enjoy such things. Have a wonderful day.